up, everybody? My name's Wade. This is Bourbon Hall. I appreciate you guys joining me on this wonderful Saturday night. Yes, we have been going through a few things. Yeah, we've had the flu run through the house, possibly the COVID. Then we went skiing once we got healthy. No injuries there. So it's been a while since I've done a live. I'm very excited to be back with you guys tonight. As always, excited about the guest. One of my secret favorite watches that I do. I really enjoy his stuff. Myron with Bourbon Drop. I'll bring him on here in just a little bit. Just to say hi to all of you. I'm going to catch up with chat. Guys, we're going to do the races as well. If you look right up here, if you wonder what that is, if you're new to it or if you're not, for every $5 Super Chat or Venmo, check right here. That goes to the Super Chat giveaway. And we do it tiers every so often. A new tier will be unlocked, and that will just unlock a new bottle. And there's going to be some good ones. There will be some standard ones off the start, and then as we build through it. And one person that has given Super Chat in that will be able to pick from any of the bottles that are unlocked. So that should be a lot of fun. Also, right off the bat, we're going to be doing the Patreon monthly giveaway. And so pretty excited about that. And so, yeah, I think that it's going to be a good time. We are going to be giving away, Patreon. We're giving away one sample of 1.5 ounces of my Old Forester President's Choice to one of the Patreon members through the tiers. If you're interested in that Patreon, just go look at Patreon and all the explanation is there. All right, so let's get to chat. Bourbon Drop is in the house. That's right. Hey, Myron, we'll bring you up here shortly. Watervark, what's up? Locktar, how's it going, my man? Sipping a poor man's Russell's 15 2.0. Oh, man, somebody's going to get banned. Tom Jack's got that heavy finger, I'm sure, and he's just looking to ban anyone that mixes those turkey products, but I bet it's pretty good. If anybody caught Doc Martinez's live last night, he did the ultimate turkey blend, and holy cow, I wanted him to stop it. It hurt my soul. Hurt my soul. Watervark, he asked, what's everybody sipping on? He's sipping on a Jack Daniel's single barrel proof rye. That's darn good. I just started off something easy, a little old fashioned. Just got home from a 9-year-old, very, very competitive basketball game. We were victorious. It was good. So I'm just glad to be here. Sorry that I'm not doing my normal Sunday night routine. Schedules are going to be that way. We might actually have to do another Saturday here in a couple weeks. Just how things work out. But I want to say, raise your glass. What are y'all drinking? Cheers. Oh, it's good to be back. Good to be back with my people. All right. Oh. Myron's doing the Green River Wheated. Very nice. Nice, easy, approachable. I think I got that line somewhere. Maybe that'll be my first pour getting into it. 4 Roses single barrel. Love it. Love my pour. 1 part Russell's 10 mixed with 2 parts Old Forester 1920. Interesting. All right. 1924. It blended is all right. Whistle Pig Piggy Bank. Piggy Back. That's not the one in the bank. That's is that the 6th year, George? Working, so I'm sipping a Monster. White can. The best. Pure. West Virginia Bourbon Guy, cheers, buddy. Wild Turkey 70, it says Night Method. Dang good stuff. Tumbling Dice 8-year rye. I need to get into that. I haven't ever had a Tumbling Dice product. I really need to do it. Tillers, cheers, my man. Hope all is well. All right. I've held off long enough, guys, so I am going to bring him on. He's the one. He's the only. It's Myron. Let me see if I can get him assigned here so he can actually be seen. Let's see. There you go, Myron. Hey, Myron, you are live, my dude. How's it going?
What's going on, Wade?
How have you spent your wonderful Saturday? What have you been up to?
You know what? Actually, What did I do earlier today? Actually, I didn't do really anything, man. I took my son. He had some running around to do.
Yeah.
I took him to do some running around. Came back to the house, chilled with the wife. Got my bourbon drop area back to how it's supposed to look
Right.
because I had some things going on, and that's pretty much it, man. This is first drink of the day. Green River, cheers. Keeping it
Cheers,
weeded
buddy.
tonight.
Cheers.
Thanks for having me on too, man. Couldn't
Yeah.
pick a better place to be today.
Hey, I very, very appreciative. You're one of the first guests on a live here. And so if there's
Wow.
bugs and stuff, I've done a few lives with Doc Martinez through old fashioned ways when we did some NFL stuff. So I apologize if there's something that goes on. We'll just roll with it and keep moving. All right. So
I'm good. I'm good with that.
that's good. But a few questions I want to ask you, Myron, is first of all, how long have you been in the bourbon game? And I'm not talking about in the YouTube/content creation. How long have you been going after bourbon? Like, when did you find bourbon? What did you like bourbon? Hit me with all that info. I'm interested.
All right. So it's funny because around 2000, no, 2013 is when we bought our second house. And I lived around the corner from a golf course. 2012, I'm sorry, 2012. And I lived around the corner from a golf course. And a buddy of mine, he's not really into bourbon. He's more of a Canadian whiskey Crown Royal guy.
Sure.
So I said, look, man, I'm looking to pick up a new hobby, golf. I said, I want to start drinking something different. I said, I'm thinking of either going bourbon or whiskey, like some type of scotch. And I said, what do you recommend? He said, well, do you like your stuff smoky or do you like it sweet? Now, at this time, I'm thinking, okay, I don't want anything smoky because I don't want,
Right.
scotch is smoky. I don't want it.
Right.
So I go the bourbon route and I get to a store and there's this guy and I'm telling him, I'm like, dude, this is my first bottle of bourbon. I said, I kind of want to treat myself to something nice. He runs me. He must have known everything. And he was just a customer. He must have known everything about every bourbon. And he said, try this Booker's. Now, I don't know anything about proof.
Sure.
This is my first bourbon. I get it home and when I tell you it knocked my dick in the dirt, boy, oh
Yeah.
man, but it was so good. So I said, well, I'm not going to chase Booker's every time I want a bottle. So I switched over to Knob Creek and the rest was history, man. And like I said, that was around 2012. But I truthfully didn't start collecting until around 2020.
Yeah.
So
Yep. Yeah, and well, that's very interesting. And I was on a live with you and part of the Whiskey Six. Was it last week? Gosh.
Shout out Whiskey Six. It was a couple weeks ago.
Couple weeks ago. Jeez. Anyway, but I was part of that, and it was funny because my main moderator, Tom Black, he'll be in here and helps me run a bunch of this stuff. He's like, Myron's got this miracle cabinet that he just reaches down. You say a bottle, and he just reaches down and get it. So obviously, I know you've been going after it a little bit. Obviously, so have I, right? And trying to get, catch them all. I mean, it's really a grown-up Pokemon is what we're trying to do here. But the one thing I was wondering is, obviously, it seems like you have some good relationships or you have some good areas that you shop at and you get to acquire your stuff. But I actually don't know, where are you located within the United States?
So I am in Southern Maryland.
Okay.
If you're familiar with the DC area, Southern Maryland, we kind of back up to Virginia. Like I'm closer to the 301 bridge, but I work in Virginia closer to the DC side. So I'm kind of like in the middle. Sure. And Maryland's prices, if you want to get into that, Maryland's prices are all over the place. There are some great stores that I go to, and there are some stores that I go to that bottle will collect dust for years and years before he even lowers the price. It's that ridiculous. Yeah. But since I work in Virginia and I'm in Virginia a lot, I do a lot of my shopping in Virginia, and that's state regulated pricing. So I try not to spend over MSRP. Every once in a while it happens.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's so interesting because I'm in the middle of Nebraska. And so to find honestly, we don't even have that the distribution here. There's a lot of stuff that doesn't come here. It just goes over us or around us because they're like Nebraska. They like Busch Light, which they do, and just Crown Royal drinkers. That's a majority, but there is a pretty healthy bourbon community here, but it's not. It just we don't have the population to draw those people to send this stuff here, and
Okay.
so. But my one local store knows, like there's probably like 6 bourbon guys, and they know that they get 4 bottles and they mark it up, and so it's looking out there and it's like, well, it's the only chance I get to have this bottle. But I really know that I may look at, I don't know, Facebook or something and know what it could cost to come to my door, possibly, if I wanted to do that. Not that I would ever do that, but but it's just like, for it's almost the same cost, and it's like I don't know if I want to support you with this high cost or go this way, and so
Yeah.
it's a difficult thing. So, but that's really awesome. And once again, I'm just so appreciative that you willing to come on, Myron. I know that like life's busy, and so I appreciate you taking a little time off. And guys, I want to say if you're here and you're just hanging out, please subscribe to Myron. If you're part of my group, I mean, you're probably gonna sway, and you're gonna be like, Myron actually puts out decent content versus Wade. So it's like one of those things that I can see you guys sway. So I really enjoy Myron's content. And that's one of the reasons I respect the information, the way that he does it. So that's why I wanted you to be on here, Myron, to be honest.
Well,
and
you.
so,
I appreciate that.
but yeah, so you're drinking Green River Weeded. And first drink of the day, very nice introductory drink, for sure.
Yep, middle of the road, easy pour. I'm keeping it weeded tonight, but my last drink is going to be a little more higher proof. It's going to be this one right here, and I don't know if you've had it, man, but this 10-year Horse Soldier.
I've never had a Horse Soldier product. I've never had one. And I've seen them all the time. So so it's a weeded Horse Soldier, and you said is it cask strength? You said.
That is, yeah. So the silver label is cask strength, and they have a small batch, which I've never had anything besides the silver label and this one.
Sure.
The silver label I've had 2 to 3 bottles of. That's their cask strength, but this is the highest proof one that I've ever had. This is 134.2, and to me it doesn't drink like it. It drinks more around 115, 120, and I was surprised. But you know how weeders can be sometimes.
100%, and I love a weeder. I love all the varieties, and honestly, I always make this. I kind of even like funky, weird, stuff that comes out of a bottle. I grew up with a mom that was mostly Czech and some German. So on a cold day, by the way, it's been brutally cold. I don't know if it's been cold. It's been brutally cold here. But you would go out and play because back in the 90s, that was what you did. You didn't stay inside. The parents bundled you up and said, come back at lunchtime. So you're out there getting frostbite and whatnot. And come back in, but it was sausage, potatoes, and sauerkraut would be on a big crock. And so the house would stink and stuff like that. It's not appealing. It's not an appealing anything. But I grew up eating that stuff, so it's weird adversive stuff isn't that weird to me. That's how I grew up. So it's give me something weird in a bottle. There's only 2 or 3 bottles where I'm I don't like that. That's really off-putting for me. And so, and people know, so what it is. So, but it is what it is. But if you had, so you said Knob Creek really, so obviously a Booker's is pretty aggressive to start your bourbon journey with.
Yes.
Knob Creek is so good. Such a good point.
Yes.
But if you thought, has there been anything, well, you said kind of going into the collecting and just trying to gather more bottles. Was there a bottle that really encouraged you to go that route?
You mean to just start collecting and just getting the whole series, the whole lineup? Yeah, ECBP. Yeah, ECBP. When I got my hands on my first ECBP, and it wasn't even a pirate bottle. I can't remember which one it was, but I was like, "What is this? Oh my gosh! What is this?" And after that, I was done.
I can't blame you with that. And I mean, some of the the different batches are they're just crazy. And I mean, C923, I've got a third of a bottle left and another bottle, and that is a cherry. That bottle to me is so special. So special. But I know some of the other ones are just as good. And so, first of all, Carl, I want to appreciate you for the $10 super chat, guys. If you can look, I'm going to give you. If you Venmo or super chat, we unlock, and so we do giveaways at the end. Any of that, it'll unlocks bottles, and then I'll let everybody know once things are unlocked. And one person is lucky enough to win whatever is unlocked, meaning that they get a choice of whatever bottles are unlocked. And I'm going to say it's worth sticking around for to see if you get a chance. All right. Anyway, so sorry, Myron, just doing the business.
Oh, I hear you, man.
Oh, Dave, $20 super chat for two of my favorite Bourbon Channel people, Dave Vogelsang. I mean, Dave, appreciate you, brother. Well, I mean, obviously, Dave's an amazing part of the community, so it is obviously great. And so, Myron, you said ECPB. Mine was EHT barrel proof. I already told this story, but my buddy that is Tom Black here, he poured it to me, and I'm like, holy crap. Like, what is bourbon? This is how bourbon can be. And so, and then like I had 4 bottles at that time, and it exploded. You know,
wow.
I was just searching for different experiences out of the bottle, and all the different things I can get. And like, it's so fun to try that. And I feel so bad for a lot of my friends that come down here that aren't quite, because this is my basement bar, that aren't quite whiskey people. So I start them off sweet and easy, and then we'll do a Blanton's, something that's pretty palatable, and then we just start ramping up. And it's always like, oh, you really like that? You taste that? Cool. Here's 125 proof. Well, just wait.
I try not to bust people's ass like that because, man, I'm telling you, like I said, it was flavorful, but it tore me a new one. So, like I said, when I back down to Knob Creek, and like you said, because for the longest time, like even when I went up to the Knob Creek single barrels that were 120 proof, I still felt like those were spicy. So it was like I would always find myself gravitating towards that 100 proof, because for the longest time, it was either Knob Creek, and then I started shifting towards John J. Bowman, and then the small batch, the port, and then the single barrels. And then the Henry McKenna. And then once the Henry McKenna became hard to find, I was just like, what's going on? But I really wouldn't dive into the higher proof stuff. I always stayed around that 100 proof price proof point. Then every once in a while, if I had a great accomplishment, I treat myself to that's back when Booker's was $60. I treat myself to a $60 bottle of Booker's, and deal with the proof. But like I said, man, even what the 120s back then, even though I drink them like water now, they were spicy, man. Those Knob Creeks were spicy.
Oh, I'm still, every once in a while, I love picking up the 120 store picks that are Knob Creeks, because dang, they are one of the better, bang for your bucks, out there. But man, every once in a while you get one and it'll light you up. That 120 proof, you're having every bit of it. So I get it. Hey, Bourbon School's in the house. What's up, Bourbon School? Cheers. Hope all is well up there in the Buffalo area. Darren Crafton, appreciate you. Subscribe to Myron on Bourbon Drop. All right, Darren, that's where it's at. You will not be disappointed. All right, here. Let's move down. Venmo super chat. Tom Black. Also, I saw one for Joe B. Appreciate you guys. You are entered in. Let's get it rolling. Usually Tom Black will let me know once we have unlocked a tier, and so I'll put another thing in here. And Myron, I apologize. Hopefully if you can't see the screen the way it is, I apologize. I know, I wish that we had this software had a way that you could actually see what I'm seeing. But so if you're on on YouTube and seeing it that way, hopefully you understand how it kind of looks. Otherwise, you're just staring at my face, and I really apologize.
No, I'm switching back and forth because I like to go into the comments sometimes, and sometimes I like to type in, and then I see my man B-Og, my brother B-Og out there in the comments. Yeah, man.
Yeah, what's up, B-Og?
You said
I
Brian
see you there.
From
what's up, brother?
Bourbon School.
Yep. Sonia. What's up, man? Bardstown White Label was my epiphany bottle. The white label. I mean, I love the story. What is your epiphany bottle? That's the thing is everybody's got one. Like it's just like holy crap, that's so much, and it's not Jack number 7 anymore. It's something different. And so yeah, I love it. Love it. All right. Hey, Biog, thanks for subscribing, my man. Appreciate you. Michael Bortner, Bowman, lottery opens Monday, cast strength batch 4. I have never even come close to a cast strength Bowman brothers. Have you been lucky enough to have a few of those?
I've had some samples. I've swapped some samples with a guy who does he does reviews on Reddit. And
okay.
He sent me a spreadsheet, and I just, my mind was blown at the amount of bottles this dude has. He said anything that's just normal is open, and anything that's like grayed out is not open yet. So he was like, pick from anything that's open.
Yeah.
So I didn't think I'd have anything in my stash that like this dude didn't have.
Right.
And then next thing I know, he was like, well, tell me what you want. So I'm like, I'm trying to be modest, right? I'm like, I'll take like 10. Yeah, I'm like, I'll take 10 samples. This dude sends me a list. He was like, are you sure? He sends me a list. He wanted like 70 samples. So needless to say, we swapped the first 40. We never got around to swapping the last 30, but
Yeah.
I still have some of those samples.
Yeah.
But that was my first cast strength Bowman, and then I was lucky enough to go to a bourbon meetup, and the last Bowman, well, the one before the last Bowman that they released, I think it was a French oak cast strength Bowman or something like that, and I got a chance to try that, which I thought it was good, but I wasn't like blown away,
Yeah, and like I've only had, well, the Bowman port finish. I didn't care for that one. And then I have some of the single barrels, which I think are really nice. I think they're really a decent, really nice pour. Just hard for me to get, but I really enjoy it. It's one of those things. So yeah, Locktar here says my epiphany bottle was 115 proof Samuel Maverick Rodeo Edition, their first and only double oaked offering. I have like 2 pours left because I sampled it out and drank it so much. Well, that's awesome, Locktar. I actually that must be a Texas whiskey. I know he's down in the old Tejas. Hey, Nate Jorgensen, what's up, brother? Hope all is well. Yeah, so if Dave Vogelstein says if you win the Bowman lottery, you have to pick it up at the distillery. So it's a lot like the what is it, the darn it, the double oaked. That's a big deal. It's down in Georgia. I just lost the name.
13th Colony. 13th Colony.
So it's kind of similar to that. I know that there's some people that had a chance to get that, and it didn't work out real well. It was a bummer. Bowman singles are fantastic. I can't agree more, but Biog, it's dang good. What's up, RT Hayes? Hope all's well. Lip Service Crew, $5 super chat. Appreciate you. Hope all is well, guys. Here we go. All right. I'm just seeing if we have any questions. Yep, San Antonio, Sam Maverick. Okay, 13th Colony. Biog's got me. I have the French oak and American oak still trying the cast strength Bowman. I've never had it, but Myron, so one thing that I'm going to crack open, it's not a weeder, but I picked this up last week. Let me see if I can get it cover my face. But
Wyoming
actually,
whiskey.
Yeah, Wyoming whiskey. Nate, that's in the chat. It's his store. They got this, and it's 135.4 proof, and it is a wild drink. I want to send you a sample of this to crack it. He sent me a sample, and I'm like, it is like dark chocolate and pain and some other things in there. Because, 135 proof, it's going to bite you.
Okay.
But this probably, like you said, this is going to be my last pour of the night. For sure. But it's one of those things. I just saw his name, and so I was like, I want to send one to Myron, since we were just talking about samples. But so Myron, so give me an idea, like why did you start a channel? What brought you onto that?
So for the longest time, all of my, like, the guy who told me, he was like, do you want scotch or do you want bourbon?
Yeah.
Smoky or sweet? Once I started drinking Knob Creek, and I was, like I said, I was really like diving deep into Knob Creek. Like I was like, this is my go-to right here.
Yeah.
And I started picking up notes just like out of nowhere. Now I had never heard anything about picking up different notes out of whiskey or anything like that. So I was trying to figure out like this thing has like a butterscotchy taste. So I go to my friend at work and I'm like, dude, I'm like, Knob Creek, man, I'm telling you, like, I'm
Hmm.
starting to pick up like this butterscotch note and
Yep.
this note and that note. He was like, no way. He was like, you aren't picking up any goddamn butterscotch in Knob Creek.
Yep.
I said, I'm telling you, man. So it kind of just like came to me. And
Yep.
then, watching guys on YouTube like Jason C, Bourbon
Yep.
Junkies, watching those guys,
Yep.
I was like, I said, man, I think I can do this,
Yeah.
So once we purchased another house, and once they finished building it, I kind of set up an area downstairs like everybody does in the basement. Set up an area
Yep.
downstairs, and
Yep.
I started YouTubing the hell out of like how to get your lighting right, how to do this so that
Yep.
your video just doesn't come across boring.
Right. Yep.
And then I started just messing around, and I was like, you know what? I said I'll put myself out there, and if it takes off, it takes off. If it doesn't, hey, at least I tried.
Right.
And I remember that first video watching it and just being so stiff, like, hello, thank you for tuning in to Bourbon Drop. My name is
Yep.
Myron. But like I said, and just watching guys and just having the natural ability to pick out notes is what kind of made me kind of get into it.
No, and that's awesome. And I mean, honestly, just as good a reason for anything, right? It's one of those things if you find it, but also like I just like your presence in your videos, so I really enjoy that from you, and that's what I was always gravitated towards you. And for me, when I started it, like I told this story as like, oh, like I wanted to go bourbon hunting because the thrill of the chase is really exciting for me. That's really
Yeah.
exciting. And I was like, oh, I can't wait to do this. But I live in the middle of nowhere, so I don't like my initial premise of how I was going to do this channel fell apart before I even fully considered it.
Uh-huh.
So it's like it was just like that was dumb. That was dumb for me to think that I could go and just bourbon hunt all this place because it just doesn't exist.
Yeah.
I drive everywhere, and then it was like, well, I consider myself mildly funny, so it's like, okay, I'll just try to be myself mildly funny, and if people don't like it, if it's funny to me, that's all that really matters. And
Yeah.
and that's helped. And honestly, there were some people that liked it. And I think another thing I enjoy about you, Myron, is that we're genuine. There's not a lot of BS there. And
Yeah.
I'm sure that we've come across the content creators where you're like, I don't know if that is genuine. they're
Mhm.
talking about a particular spirit or something. It's like, huh,
Yeah.
that's interesting. And so but I, same as you, like Mash and Drum, Bourbon Junkies. I like ADHD Whiskey. I thought he was like
Yes.
just this weird, funny dude, but amazing palate. And
Yeah.
so, but it was like one of those things like, can I be a trustworthy palate as well? Okay. Can I also be entertaining? Sure. So that's all I'm trying to, just to have a fun time with it. So I'm really glad that you're in the space, Myron. And so how long have you been at it?
I started the channel in 2022.
Okay. Yep.
And so, like I said, that was around 10 years after I started drinking bourbon. So
Yeah.
I started the channel, and really, I think a lot of people started to put themselves out there during COVID because
Yeah.
everybody was stuck in the damn house. All we could do is either sip whiskey and watch YouTube. So
Yep.
it was like,
100%.
you know, So I was like, well, and like I said, just watching guys like you said, Jason C, Bourbon Junkies, ADHD Whiskey. Matt is so dry and funny at the same time. It is
Yep.
ridiculous, man.
Yep.
I mean, sometimes I am laughing out loud at that dude, but
100%.
no, yeah, I mean that's that's it. That's
Yeah.
just how I
Yeah.
did it.
I mean, 100%, kind of the same process, right? And it's just such a funny thing to like. I tell my family, and they're so supportive. They're amazing. And I tell my wife, I got a live tonight, and she's like, okay, I'll make supper and all that stuff. And she's like, you just go, like, good luck, have a good time. And it's just
Hmm.
hilarious to me because 2 years ago, I'd have just been watching. somebody live, or
Yeah.
what, 3 years ago now. And so it's just a crazy thing that's like, yeah, now we are interacting with all of these people in this kind of global like community of that just likes to drink bourbon.
Yeah.
It's
And
wild.
it's one of the coolest experiences when you can sit there and just have a quick conversation with somebody halfway across the country that you probably would walk past in the airport, didn't know they like bourbon, didn't know anything about them, but it's funny how just bourbon just brings everybody together.
Yeah, for real. It is. And um, have you done the Louisville trips? Have you been to Louisville a couple
No,
times?
I have not done the bourbon trail yet. My wife
Okay.
is she just keeps I told her, I said, look, I want to do it, I want to do it, I want to do it. I have a cousin who wants to do it, but we
Yeah.
still have not done it.
Well, obviously, like, and I do think, like, I took my wife. I turned 40 last year, and for my 40th birthday, she gifted me tickets to the PGA Championship, which was in Louisville. So, I like,
Wow.
I went and watched golf, and then I went and bourbon hunted, and we went to distilleries, several President Choices from Old Forester, and like, it was amazing. Um, and I can't wait. But it's great when you're there because everybody loves bourbon. And
Uh-huh.
it is like you just have nerds everywhere. And I'm talking, you're going to have dudes with polos tucked into their jeans and their belts, right? Like, it's like you have the dads of dads, New Balance shoes, and they just cannot wait to get to the next distillery. It is the
Yeah.
best. And like you have levels of all of it. So it is. And not to knock them, I'm knocking on that door. I my feet hurt, so I need a new pair of New Balance. So I'm not knocking them, but it's one of those things that's truly like it's just such a cool community, and like when you get into it, you realize it's bigger than you actually expected.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's great.
You don't I didn't expect for this thing to be as big as it is. And like I get invited to like bourbon meetups, and then like you said, it's just everybody from every walk of life. They're there. Everybody's sharing bottles. You've got people trading bottles, you've got people sharing bottles. So I love going to those because I love meeting new people, one. And
Yeah,
two, if there's a bottle that I've been eyeing, I know there's a good chance it's going to be there. I can have
right.
a pour of it before I even go and buy it, and not even have to spend money at a bar.
Yeah, that's I mean, and the I will say there's some people that like to hold their bottles. They just love
Hmm.
they don't want to open them. They just want to look at them. They want to polish
Hmm.
them, and they just want to keep them. And like I get it. I get like there's a part of emotional connection to big bottles. Like I have a few
Hmm.
bottles that I look at and I'm just like, whew, I would love to crack you right now. But in my mind, there's a special, something down the road that I'll crack you for. And but like I have I had a friend that moved back into town here, and he uh, just built a bar down in his basement. And he's like, I was at my friend's house, and he's one of the biggest bourbon collectors in town. And I just know
Mm.
of him. I don't know him. And we're a town of like 30,000, so it's a pretty small pool. So, uh, and he's like, yeah, I asked him how much he won for a Blanton's. He said he wouldn't sell me one. And he's like Eagle Rare, and he's like, oh, he just wouldn't say he didn't want to get rid of any of his stuff. And so
Uh-huh.
I got invited to watch a football game with him, and I brought him Eagle Rare, Blanton's, and a Special Reserve 175. And I'm just like, there you go. Like your bar can
Uh-huh.
officially be open now. And I was like, this is how it should be. This is how it should be. So enjoy. And he thought it was so amazing. And I didn't want to tell him. I was just trying to clear out some space for other bottles. So
Yeah, we all have that problem, from floor whiskey to just running out of space. I mean, it's like, who did you say said I had a magic cabinet under the
yeah,
table?
Tom Black, man, just pulling crap out. Just it was the most amazing thing, Myron. It was like, oh, oh yeah, it's right here. And it's like, oh yeah, it's like right here. It's like it was the most.
It was
I was like, I want that power.
I'm not gonna lie, that was one of the episodes where everything was just perfect timing, because like every bottle we talked about, because I was moving some things around in here, and I just happened to have those bottles sitting around by the bar. So when we started talking about it, I was like, oh yeah, got that. But yeah, no, we've got that problem. We've got floor whiskey, we've got
Oh,
storage whiskey. But I'm one of them guys where I crack everything. Well, I would say almost everything I get. I
yeah,
crack probably about 99.9% of the bottles that I get.
yeah,
Because one, I want to do a review for the channel. And two,
yep,
I want to know what it tastes like. If I have a $2,500 bottle sitting behind me on the bar that
yep,
is not cracked, and I walk out of here tomorrow and a limb falls on me or I get hit by a bus,
yep.
I never knew what that bottle tasted like. So
I,
enjoy it
I,
while you're here. That's how I feel.
Amen, brother. Amen. First of all, and also, guys, first, I want to appreciate all the super chats and the Venmo. We've unlocked 2 stages so far. So, first off, tier 1, Henry McKenna 10-year. That was a lot bigger 2 years ago. Anyway, and tier 2, it is 1.5 sample of both of the Michter's 10 bourbon and rye. So, those are the first 2. Guys, we're going to ramp it up here, I promise you. So, just I promise you that those bottles are going to get a little bit more choice as we go. But but that's I have a few bottles that I got, and I don't know why I am so nostalgically like holding them. And I told myself these are going to be when my kids get married. I have 3 kids, and I was like, I have 3 bottles. I'm like, these are when they get married, or like the night before the wedding. Crack it. It's like, hey, this is for you. And I guarantee they're going to be like, this sucks. Like,
I know.
and it's going to be one of those things. It's like, oh, 15 years I've had this bottle.
That's the same thing I said. Like when I hear guys say that, like, man, I can't wait to crack this with my son till his 21st birthday. And I'm like, it's going to be I don't like to be a Debbie Downer. So, I cheer guys like that on because, hey,
100%.
they could really love bourbon. But at the same time, we all know bourbon is an acquired taste.
Yeah.
It claims, especially 100 proofers. Most people drink 80 proof, 90 proof, 100 proofers, 120 proof. That could be fire.
Right.
So when I hear guys say that, I'm kind of like 75% of the time, you're probably not going to have a good experience. You've held on to that bottle until your son turned 21 and he's going to spit it out.
I know. I hear what you're saying, Myron, and it's just letting them try a little bit of the Knob Creek and stuff at 19, 20. No, kidding. Hey, son, before you get married, you got to have your palate right.
Yeah. Now, see, that's better because saving it until they get married, they're typically a little older. So you kind of know if they're into bourbon at that time.
Right. Yeah, hopefully. And if not, it's like, or, if you really disapprove the marriage, you're just like, you know what? I have this bottle of Blade and Bow that's just been sitting around for quite some time. I think that's good enough for this marriage, don't you? I'm pretty sure that's if in that scenario, that's how my wife's family would have felt about me. They would have been like, we had the William LaRue Weller, but let's put that down. Let's just, I think a nice Jack Daniels Bonded would be really nice.
I was about to say, you're Blade and Bow, you're Blade and Bow level.
Yeah.
Oh man, I might be OGD. I don't know. Not even 114, just regular OGD.
Just the OG. Yeah. Oh man.
No, man. I've got a bottle of Henry McKenna behind me that I refuse to open because it was the last bottle that I got for a decent price. Like back when Henry McKenna used to be $28.99 on sale at the Virginia ABC, I was buying it up like that, right? And then it crept up to like 35, 40 bucks, became harder to find. So that was the last bottle that I got for just around, I think it was under 40 or right at 40 bucks. So I don't know why. I've bought bottles since, and I do not like paying the $69 for them because I don't think that's a $69 bottle by any means. But like I am just holding on to that bottle. And there's a couple other bottles that I have that I haven't opened. One because of taste, the Parker's Heritage Curacao. That was my first Parker's Heritage. It would have been open had I heard better things about it. Yeah, but I haven't heard too many good things about it. So, it's only a few bottles I don't open.
Yeah, and like it's very, very few bottles that I don't open. I was lucky enough to come across an EHT 4 grain. And it was one of those times that The great Tom Black was here and down in the bar, and he was moving to Atlanta for a job. He was moving away from Nebraska, and I was like, I don't see a better time than now, and just cracked it and we drank it, and
Yeah.
it's obviously amazing. But it's some of those like things. It's just like I'm so glad that we cracked it, because who knows? Who knows?
Yeah.
Oh man. So okay, so I just cracked. I'm going on the weeder route with you for a little bit. I just did one of the Maker Mark, like the store picks. Um,
Okay.
yeah, and so but what I saw you were drinking Makers as well. What are you drinking?
Yeah. That's just regular 46. And you know what's funny, man? I was at a bourbon meetup last night. And shout out to Tommy if he's watching. I don't think he watches any bourbon reviews on YouTube.
Sure.
He loves to buy. And it was a BTAC bourbon meetup last night. Like this dude had BTAC flowing last night. He was cracking everything last night. But he gave me this bottle because I think he said he had it for 2 years, and he said he couldn't stand it, couldn't stomach it.
Yeah.
And he said, if you like it, he said, because I saw one of your videos, if you like it, I'll give it to you. I said, look, man, you ain't got to twist my arm. I said, I'll take it. I'm a 46 guy. I like 46,
Is that the newer one, the French oak one?
This is the newer one with the newer label, which it's okay. I like the red label on the 46.
Yeah.
I got one upstairs. I like the red label on the 46. I really love those old rounded shoulder bottles right there.
Yeah, I was going to ask you.
Strength.
The cast strength, the 46 cast strength, that one.
Oh,
it's so good. I actually. So go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was saying to me that 46 cast strength, that thing can hang with any of the special releases that Maker's Mark releases.
It is so good. And I remember my friend Tom Black got it for me. He picked up the first bottle, and it came with it's an amazing. It's a whole like case that holds it. It was the first edition. And I cracked it, and I'm like, holy crap, this is amazing. And I kind of go to a bourbon group, so I'm like, hey, are there any trades for this Maker's Mark 40 cast strength? And some guy's like, I'll trade it for $35. He's like, I don't want it. And he goes, it's a full bottle, and that's the one that's sitting up here. And I'm just like, yeah, like I'm pretty sure that's cheaper than retail. Yeah, he just didn't want it.
Oh, hell yeah.
And they had this whole like thought process behind it that it wasn't going to be good. And I was like, have you tried it and just didn't like it? And he goes, no. He's like, I just don't like Maker's Mark. I'm like, sucker.
Yeah.
Such a great but that's the thing is like if I wouldn't have tried that, I wouldn't have known. Going back to your point. Mm-hmm. So it's amazing.
But I found a store down here recently that still has some of the rounded shoulder bottles of 46 cast strength. And I am going to pick up one, possibly two, because I just love the shape of the bottle. And I talked to I did a pick with a local liquor store down here, 925, and the guy, he was like, because I told him, I said, I picked up one of your older cast strength bottles. I walked into a liquor store one day, and it was this like this real squatty bottle. And I was like, I said, that's a Maker's Mark bottle, but it doesn't look like a normal cast strength bottle. Like I had never seen it before.
Right.
And I'm looking at it, and I asked the dude, I said, how much is that? He said, $69. I said, okay, cool, I'll take it. And I know that the regular cast strength that they release now in the regular bottle is $39.99.
Yeah.
But there is a significant difference. And I talked to the guys from Makers, and I was like, dude, that bottle is different. He just laughed at me. He said, I'm telling you, it's not different. He said, everything we put out is the same. We just changed the bottles. He said, maybe the fact that the bottle is shaped differently is swaying your opinion. But that's not the case, because I went back to that store and I bought another cast strength from 2015 that was in a squatty bottle.
Yeah.
And they taste completely different. So I was like, dude, that bottle is different.
Because the 46, like the cast strength, like the 46 cast strength now, it's like with French oak. Like, and it doesn't state that on the old ones. And so I don't know if they changed the stave or whatever, but it's different is all I'm going to say. It is a different product than what you're getting today. That's all I know. It's amazing. Watervork says, I remember winning an E.H. Taylor sample. I kind of remember that was for Christmas. it being a 4-grain. Is that true? I'm excited. Yes, Waterwork. You want a 4-grain sample from me. You lucky dog. So that's pretty awesome. Let me catch up here. Beach bourbon or beach sand bourbon. Cheers, my man. Thank you for the super chat. The greatest 2 channels on Whiskey Tube, Bourbon Drop and Bourbon Hall. Love both of you guys. Myron and Wade are both amazing. Appreciate you, Beach Sand. You're also awesome. If you guys are here and you're not subscribed to Beach Sand, give him a like, give him a subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. Also, Steven Scone's here. Hit him up. Steven Scone is a content creator. Go give him some love as well. Appreciate you all. Tom Black is here. 1 entry for every $5, the super chat. So give him the idea. Guys, we're ramping up. I appreciate all the super chats as well as the Venmo. It just goes in. I tried to break even on this stuff. And so it's just fun to be able to share some bottles that when my wife looks around at all the bottles on my floor and she goes, it's time for some of these bottles to go. That's why they're on the list. So it is what it is. Oh man. So, but I mean, it is truly, it's a lot of fun, Myron, just to be able to like talk bourbon with you here and just, but so the 46 cast is what we were talking about. Is there anything you've gravitated, or like if you could have something right now, like is there like one bottle that you really gravitate to?
You know what, man? I've been really like the Larceny releases as of late. I know a lot of people have had mixed reviews, myself included, with some of the Larceny reviews, some of the previous Larceny releases. But C923, A123, C924 were just excellent. I mean, excellent. And I find myself like that, and of course, the Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Proof Rye, like that right now, over top of the only reason why I don't go to it as much is because those things are super high proof, and I don't need to drink high proof stuff all the time.
Yeah,
but they are amazing.
I mean, you couldn't. So for people that are here that aren't part of the Discord, get on the Discord, because I do. I have small barrels, Myron, and so I got 10-liter barrels that I do honey, and then I dump the honey, and then I honey finish, and I did a Jack Daniel's Barrel Proof Rye honey finished in there, and so if you're on Discord or Patreon, you have a chance to get some, and it was amazing. It was one of those things like it's so good, and so like I've already had people like, "Can you do it again? Can you do it again? Like, can you do it again?" And I was like, "Yeah." So right now we have Rittenhouse Rye. We have Rittenhouse Rye in a honey barrel, but I have an empty barrel right now that we could probably rotate. But Jack Daniel's Barrel Proof Rye, man, I'm with you. That is like I talk bang for your buck with the 120 Knob Creeks. Oh, I mean, barrel proof bourbon as well, or not bourbon. I know it's Tennessee whiskey, but still, it's bourbon. And so but that and the rye from Jack Daniel's, like, man, the bang for the buck, man, it is. Mm-hmm. Those are phenomenal drinks.
It's there. Yeah, my man Dennis. So shout out to Dennis if he's watching. But Dennis was at the bourbon meetup yesterday, and he had a Coy Hill that was 126, I think, 0.8 proof.
Yeah,
that I've never gotten cherry ever in a Jack Daniel's product. That Coy Hill was not only bananas, but it was also cherries. And I was blown away. But I told Dennis, I said, Dennis, I'm not mad that I can't find one or that I haven't been able to get one, because I chased them. I went to a store and they were sold out by the time I got there. I chased them. I said, because what's on the shelf from Jack is almost just as good. It's almost at that level.
There, and I know there's a whole statement that you can get the bourbons as, holy cow, as well as the ryes that come from the same rick house.
Yeah, like, I've heard that. You know. Yeah,
and a lot of those are in the gift shop. They're like, yeah, you want Coy Hill? It's not available. Get the bourbon in the gift shop. It's gonna be fine. And like, wow. I just need to go and try that. But I have had nothing like from someone that has had an aversion to Jack's number 7, probably because of my poor choices in college. Uh, that to go from there to Jack 7 to Jack 10, Jack 12, the barrel strength, single barrels and the rise, like it's one of my favorite distilleries in
Yeah.
the way that they make stuff. It just blows my mind that I mean, the profile is the same, but it's better. So
Yeah.
it's just
Like
crazy.
to me, regular Jack, like I don't even, well, okay, so I don't have any. I've got a massive distiller over there, and then I've got one that came in like this green label. But matter of fact, give me a second, I'm gonna go get it.
Oh, let's go. Let's go. All right, guys. So while Myron's gone, I just didn't want to be rude, but there's a lot of awesome bottles here. We just need to unlock them. So just keep working. Okay. You got the master distiller.
Yeah, so this is I did some type of video with old and new Jacks. This was
Number 6.
limited edition number 6, yeah. And I am feeling this thing, man. It is so easy to drink. But regular Jack, like I have bottles of regular Jack and I can't stand the stuff. But like this stuff and the stuff that they come out and they say it's the same Jack, it's in a different bottle. This stuff is great.
I mean, it's crazy. Also, that's gonna be my next pour because I want to say there was a subscriber that contacted me and said, "Hey, I will hand deliver you all these Jack distillers." And it's like 1 through 6 or 1 through 8, I can't remember. And I was thinking the distillery select, like the 375s that they do all the different weird stuff with them, like that you get from. And I'm like, yeah, let's do that. But it was actually those bottles. So I want to go grab that bottle and try it right now. I want to crack that. So Myron, I hope that you can just chill here, entertain the crowd for about 3 seconds because it's in my dungeon. That's because I can't keep everything behind here, but I know exactly where it's at. So guys, mind with me. Be kind to Myron, I know you will be because Sideshow's not here. Anyway, see you guys in a second.
Let me say shout out to Michael from B Said Bourbon. Shout out to Steven Scone, man. I saw Gandhi in the comments earlier. Michael's always watching the channel, man. I really enjoy going back and forth with Michael from B Said Bourbon. Thank you for the kind words. I really appreciate it. Thank all of you guys for tuning in just to watch two normal run-of-the-mill guys just talk about bourbon and our love for the spirit. And thank you guys for, like I said, just chiming in too. I mean, it really means a lot to us when we see you guys in here.
100%. Love seeing all you in here. Number 6, fresh crack. It's so funny because I got this and I was like, oh, I didn't mean to get those. I was thinking the distiller selects or whatever, the weird one-offs that they do in the distillery. And then I got he dropped these off by hand, as I said, and I was like, oh, okay, I got a lot more whiskey than I was expecting. So
look,
I wasn't expecting it, but I'm happy. So yeah.
I'm gonna have to get you some set because I've got another one. It's got a green label. I can't think of the name of it right now. I probably can pull it up. It's got a weird green label that they've released, and it was weird, but that one's pretty good. And I'm gonna have to get you some samples of the Horse Soldier. I've got some Tumbling Dice. I've got a Tumbling Dice pick from 925 that I think is maple. It is maple syrup on top of bacon and pancakes. To me, like it's got a little bit of a smoky note, a savory note. Oh man, and it's only 5 years old.
5 years old. So like I've never had a Tumbling Dice product. I see a few of them, and I see a rye. Is there a rye and a bourbon?
They have some ryes. As a matter of fact, I think Dave Vogelsang sent me an 11-year. Mm-hmm. I picked up an 8-year double oaked, the first double oak they ever released a few months back, and I was going to pick a backup up, and it was gone. Like my man Scott was like, "There are no more." He went to the store to get the bottle, and he was like, "There are no more there. They're gone."
That's amazing. That's wild. Joe B says Green Label Jack used to be 80 proof. Was it an 80 proofer?
Oh, it's an 80 proofer, right along with this one right here. This one's 80 proof as well.
Yeah. And this one, this
86. I'm sorry.
86. Yep. Super excited, by the way. When I hear someone like, oh, like I like this, it's like I can't get away. It's like I have that bottle. I haven't cracked it yet. I'm just waiting for someone to tell me to drink it. What's the JD I'm drinking right now? Says Waterberg. And so Waterberg is in. I want to say Denmark. I'm going to be wrong. I want to say Denmark, but it's probably Netherlands. Or he always makes fun of me because I always get it wrong. So let me hit you here. It's a Jack Daniel's. It's Master Distiller Series, and so it's a special release. And they did one for every one of their master distillers, I believe. And so this is number 6 on it. Yeah. Just so you know. So that may not have made it across the pond. I'm not sure. So to go back to Myron with the tumbling dice, you have like the one that you're really enjoying, or the one that you really enjoyed the pick. Was it a bourbon?
Yeah. Okay. It was a 5-year bourbon MGP. That thing, like I said, maple syrup and bacon on top of pancakes. That's how I always describe it.
Yeah. Oh.
Thoughts?
Oh. I mean, you get that pure Jack Daniels in that, you know, and like that's not a bad thing. I always think it as like a breakfast bread. You get like almost a yeasty note on the bottom, and then it kind of comes through with some of the other notes but it's really that rich, deep, and like almost yeasty note of like a yeasted bread that I catch off of that, and I absolutely love it. And like on the higher proof stuff, I get banana bread.
Yes,
you know, I get banana bread, and I love it. And so this isn't quite to that point, but it's like I could get into a chocolate. I can get into like a type of thing. This is going to be. Let me see how white I can sound right now, Myron. All right, I'm gonna throw this to you. This reminds me of a chocolate chip muffy that I got from a coffee store, and it's just a muffin top. Because if you go to like a Starbucks or a Panera, they have what are called muffin tops, and it's really kind of what that reminds me of, a chocolate chip. And I hate everything that I just said.
I love muffin tops. I do. Look, I'm not gonna lie. I can go into Panera Bread and get me a muffin top. I love them.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. You get this yeasty note. It's got this sweet note. It's very easy to drink. Mm-hmm. When I first cracked it, I picked up a very light, just a hint of a banana note.
Yep.
And I still get it to this day. It's almost like, you know how you peel a banana and you get that fresh banana smell. Yeah.
The second sip, I can talk myself into it on the back of the palate. It's just definitely, it's coming, and it like the way that you said it is a fresh banana. As you peel it, you just smelling it. Like that's
100%. And it's right, like you said, it's right along the back. Oh my gosh, man! I'm not a fan of regular Jack, but they did something special. I honestly, with these master distiller blends, I think they just probably had really good older stuff and just proofed it down.
Yeah, 100%. And like honestly, I would not be surprised if this is just a single barrel that they proof down, you know, because like it is legitimately the same kind of profile, and it's good, and it is crushable because it's 86 proof. And I really hate that I said that it's crushable at 86 proof, but now when you're drinking 120 something and you're like, yeah, it's 120 proof, it's like 86 is like, yeah. Put it in a baby bottle.
It's like, are you a crushable? Is he an alcoholic?
Yeah, for real. It's like Dad had a whole bottle of that, then he got sad. So it is all. Oh, it's so funny. So everybody like I don't know if you're familiar with Seinfeld, but everybody's talking about the top of the muffin to you because there was an episode that there was a muffin top and they had the whole idea, and they're like, they stole it from Seinfeld. They stole that idea. But and I love notes like a muffy because that's how it hits your palate, even though I have no idea what that is, says Baker Drinks. Well, I'm not proud that I said it. There we go. All right.
That
Oh Lord.
Muffy actually
Yeah.
sounds a little dirty, but that's a whole different conversation.
100%. When I said it, I was like, I was like one of those things like the comments are coming after me, and they are. So I'm everybody, we're gonna move along. We're just gonna move along. But by the way, fantastic pour for Jack Daniel's Master Distiller numbers. And it's so funny, Myron, that I remember. So I've been a whiskey guy for my wife's family since 2000 and let me see, we got married in 09, probably 13, where they're like, "Oh, you like whiskey?" And I was broke. So like the whiskey I was getting wasn't like, it was like Windsor and things like that.
Okay.
That's the stuff I could afford. And I remember for Christmas I got a Master's Distillers, like, and it was probably number 1 or number 2, right? Like they just gave it to me. They're like, "You like whiskey? Here you go. That's your Christmas gift." And I remember like trying it, and at that point, I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready for like, and I was like, "Well, it looks like I'm having a lot of Jack and Cokes," type of thing. And it's such a sad thing because I have 1 through 6 now, and I can revisit them now and see how dumb I was, right? Like how I'm the guy that every bourbon person hates now, or whiskey person hates. But the now, Myron, I'm asking this. This is a pointed question because I have a story. But has there ever been a friend, a family member, a spouse, even that has done an infraction that where
Yes.
Okay, I want to hear that story.
So I try to tell people because I used to give people a hard time that drank it over ice or that mixed it because I
Right.
was like, that's not how I would give them a
Right.
hard time in a joking
Yeah.
way. But I try to tell people, look, drink whiskey how you like it. Elmer T, this guy, he liked his with Sprite or
Yep.
7 Up, whatever.
Yep.
Right. And that's one of the most sought after bottles.
Yep.
But my brother-in-law comes over. This wasn't this past Thanksgiving. I think it was the Thanksgiving before. And he comes over and I had Russell's 13 sitting on my bar, and I was like, okay, I'm sipping on stuff. I'm telling people, hey, whatever you want, as long as it's open, go ahead and pour yourself something. He comes in the house. He goes straight downstairs to the bar. I go upstairs to the kitchen, and I notice that he comes up with a big glass, and then he's got like this much poured in it. And then he starts dumping, and I'm looking at that glass like, man, that liquid looks kind of dark. I was like, is he mixing some of my like really good shit with? I think it was a Pepsi that he cut it
Yep.
with, and I was like, what did he mix it with? So I didn't ask him. So when I went back downstairs, my Russells was sitting on the bar, kind of, over just a touch,
Yep.
and the top was off of it. And I said, this motherfucker, he just mixed my Russell's 13. I wanted to choke him. I was like, you got to be kidding me. And he didn't have a little. And when I went back upstairs, I said, dude, you just mixed one of my best bottles with Pepsi, right? I said, you better not babysit that thing. You're going to drink that whole glass because you poured it, you're going to drink it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we had a party here last year, and I was lucky enough that Nate, who's in the chat, who was in the chat earlier, he sent me some of the samples of some of the like high aged rums that his liquor store was sampling. And by the way, wild, like, because rums can be just crazy as bourbons, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this guy comes down and he goes, "I really like rum." And I was like, "Tell you what, I got a sample right there. Here's a Glen." And I give him a Glen. I was like, "You try that sample." And I was like, "I think you're going to be really surprised." And he, I know that he can drink it neat or whatever. And so he drinks this. It's like 128 or 130 proof rum. And he's like, "That is one of the best rums I ever had." And I can hear everything starting to go not the way I want it to go upstairs. Kids and stuff like that, right? And I'm like, "Hey man, I'm gonna run upstairs, pour yourself whatever, just as long as it's open." And he goes, "No problem." So I go upstairs. I come down 4.5 minutes later, and I swear to God, the the Glen is brimming. It is like at the top, like there's a bulge, right? And I'm like, hey, uh, well, you got yourself a full Glen there. And he goes, yeah, it came out faster than I thought. I'm like, happens all the time. You know, he's already a little buzzed. I'm just trying to be kind.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, oh, like I just have to ask, like, what'd you pour? Did you get more rum? What'd you get? And he goes, oh, I looked at your bar and I got that pretty bottle. And it was my Old Forester 11, the only one that I have, and he filled it all.
Oh my gosh!
And I was just, and it's kind of like when you leave a kid in a room, and the only way I could say it was like with like a viper or like a dangerous snake, and you're just like, I didn't think that was gonna happen. I just totally just drove me, like I was like, and he's drinking it, he's like chugging it, like he's like good, and I'm like, and I just look at him, I'm like, I really need you to enjoy that. I really need you to enjoy that drink, because oh boy, do I need you to enjoy that. And it's like, and he's like, oh, is that one hard to get? I'm like, it took me 2.5 years to get that bottle. So yeah, it's harder to get.
I'm sitting here. I'm like pulling on my, because I know that feeling. Like everything inside of you wants to like your soul wants to jump out and just wrap your hands around their neck, but you're like, they don't know. They don't know.
They're so innocent. They're like a sweet little baby that's walked in, and you're just like, oh, I can't. That's not fair.
Yeah. So like you're like, I know he didn't do it on purpose. Like I said, my brother-in-law, I'm like, he didn't do it on purpose. And if he had known, he probably would not have even touched that bottle. He probably would have reached for something else.
That's okay.
You know. Yeah, that's good. But no, you said you finished. You said you have a 10-liter barrel.
I have 2 actually.
And you put honey in it. Mm-hmm. And you put honey in it, and you just dump it out. Right now I did an experiment. So for January, which I say this every year, I'm not doing dry January next year, but for January I go dry. And I took, because I cannot stomach regular larceny. I love larceny barrel proof, but regular larceny, I can't stand it. I love the Oak and Eden that I have. And so what I did was, out of one of my bottles that was empty, I took the Oak and Eden. It was a cast strength pick. I poured half of the bottle of larceny in that bottle with the stave. And I'm doing an experiment. So I'd say I let the whole month go by before I even tried it, because like I said, I wanted to give it its fair chance. It changed a little bit, but a little bit of the larceny was left behind. I tried it about a week and a half ago, and it's gotten considerably better. And I was planning on shooting that video tonight, but I don't think I'm shooting that video tonight. That's why I was trying to stay on the weeded train. I don't think I'm shooting that video tonight. After we get off, I think I'm gonna just let it be. Maybe shoot it tomorrow after me and the wife have finished doing everything we need to do. But I am doing that experiment right now, and I'm telling you, man, I didn't know how it was going to turn out, but as of right now, so far, so good, man.
Good. I actually have a few fun. So the barrels are a little bit expensive, but they are a fun project. And so like the one thing is like, I want to keep them full because I don't want them to dry out. And so I have 10 liters that I bought a 55, a 50-gallon bucket, but it's 60 pounds of honey. So I could fill them and kind of get them rotated. By the way, if you guys go to Discord, the honey is, the barrel aged honey is up for if you guys are interested in some of it. But the it really is a really interesting process. You know, I age the honey for probably about 4 weeks, and then I dump it, and then I put, you know, whatever whiskey or whatever I want into it, and then dump that, and then put honey in it. And so like there's a change every time in those barrels. But like those little staves, or like the spirals, I have a few different white dogs that I've acquired, and I put a stave in that, and I'm like, well, we'll just try you. And there's a local distiller in Nebraska that has a white dog, and it's rough. I mean, rough. And
Wow.
yeah, and so I put 2 oak staves into it, and just like I shake it every month and just leave it out. And I left it out in the garage during the summer so it would age more.
Oh, yeah.
It's down in the basement. It like I'm actually trying to do like a seasonal thing with it. I crack it, and it's almost 1 year. It might be a year now. I crack it, and I'm like, that needs more time. It's like it's still not there. It is still not there. And so it's one of those things that's whoo. It's real rough. And like I've also have I got a rye mash as well as just a white dog mash from Buffalo Trace, like the little like 375s.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I put a couple of those in there just for experiment because it's fun, right? Like see what you can get out of it.
Yeah, I was interested because I do have the mash one. Look, here we go. The trap door.
Yep, there you
I
go.
do have yeah, and I have this, and I thought about doing it. I thought about taking one of those staves and just like taking a bottle, putting it inside there, and see where it goes. Because right now, this thing is moonshine. Like this
It
thing,
is.
like you open it up, you smell it, it's moonshine.
Yeah, it is hard fire. And what are they, 125 proof?
Yeah,
Yeah.
125.
Yeah. And so it's one of those things that it's yeah, people like to drink it, it's not me. It's not me.
Yeah.
So might as well ruin what 350 milliliters or whatever it's like might as well try.
Yes.
So that's where I'm at with all of that. But like the barrels, I would encourage you if you have just like a 10-liter barrel, it takes about 13 bottles. FYI.
Okay.
It'll hold about 13 bottles. And if you ever have something that you just really want to be like, I just want to do something fun, something weird. And like, for example, I got Rittenhouse for cheap. It's like, let's throw it in a barrel and see what happens. So it's kind of a fun thing. That's all I got to say.
Does it already come toasted, like charred and all that?
Yeah,
or
and,
like...
and it depends on where you get it. I got mine. They were a char 4, so they were a heavy char.
Okay.
And I would love to see if I could get the same. Like, I probably won't ever get another barrel because my wife's like, 2's enough. Wade, 2's enough. But I would love to get like, because I have two char 4 level. I would love a toasted one just to see what I can create, right? That's really where I would be interested. But like you can order it fairly specifically to what you want.
Really? Okay. That sounds like an interesting experiment, man.
Yeah.
Because I do have some things I want to try, you know.
Mm-hmm. And it's so funny because I originally have an Infinity bottle app, right? So like I had a bunch of bottles that were like this that were low, and I'm like, I want to make something. So I put like this many, and like I calculated it all. I was like, let it sit for a year, shake it every once in a while so it melts together. Some of those are amazing. Those Infinity barrels are just crazy. And it's like, and it's nice to be able to like look at the app and like, how did I make that? Like what was in there to do it? And sometimes it's like, that sucks. And it's like, what can I put in there to help? So it's like one of those things. So I'm nerdy in that way where it's like trying to find stuff. And so I have bottles like that are tucked back that if my friends ever go to, I'm going to yell at them even more than the Old Forester. Is like, no, that hasn't been long enough. That's an Infinity barrel. That's an Infinity bottle. Like that has all kinds of weird crap in it. So
have you entered in? I don't think you entered any of the bakers. The bakers normally has like a competition where you can blend. I think as long as you blend like 2 or 3 bottles.
Yes, they have like. Is it blend together or blend?
Yeah, I think it's blend something. I've got the sticker. Troy loves to send stickers. Shout out to Troy. I heard you say the bakers were in the comments.
And and like the reason like trying to get off before the bakers go live because Troy and Lisa are just amazing. But they do that stuff, and I've never entered into it because I'm fearful, also forgetful. So it's one of those things. I would love to send some stuff, but I have to send it now for next year because like I just won't remember to do it. It's like because I remember on a live, Myron, is that we're like, okay, we're gonna make an infinity blend. That's what we're gonna do on the live, and I built it and I stored it away, and I actually forget what bottle it is. Down, I know it's one of three. It's one of three. But I'm like, I'm pretty sure it's that one. Maybe.
I still haven't even put one together yet. I've got so many bottles that have like just that much in there, like you were saying.
Yeah.
And I haven't put one together yet. And I've saved bottles, like the first Horse Soldier bottle that I have, because like I said, it's got like this silver plate on the front of it. It is so beautiful. I've saved some other older bottles that I think are nice looking. And I'm just like, I still haven't done it. I just still haven't committed to it. Because I love the original liquid like so much. And even though it's a little small amount, it's like I don't want to get rid of it.
And I already realized, like Dave called me out. I mean, look, this is what I love about the community. I don't care. I said Lisa. I am so sorry. It's Laura.
Laura, yeah.
I'm so sorry. And like they're like, Troy and Lisa, huh? You idiot. It's like, but Baker Drink says Blend Sanity or Blend Vent is they're two. Yeah, then I love it. And by goodness, am I mad that I missed Laura's name? Sorry, Laura. Just let you know that Myron made me drink. Yeah, I had 3 texts. It's like, it's Laura. Laura, it's Laura. Sorry, Laura.
I figured you knew, but I know how we slip sometimes because like you called the old Fitz Old Forester, so sometimes you just slip.
Yep. It's one, and like you slip, you're talking all the time, and you're just trying to fill space, and it's like, I said that, got to keep rolling type of deal. Like, you know what I'm talking about. There is like, I want to give the respect where it's due. I was wrong there, so I apologize.
Honestly, I found their channel early on, back when it was just Laura, because she had commented on one of my earlier videos, and every time someone, I don't know if you do the same thing, which I'm pretty sure you probably do. Every time I get a comment from someone and it looks like they have a channel, I'll click on, and then I'll subscribe because I'm like, they took the time to comment on me. 100%. They may have taken the time to subscribe, so I want to repay the favor, and watch some of their content. And I stumbled onto their channel back when it was just Laura, and then all of a sudden it became Laura and Troy, and it's kind of blossomed into like this beautiful thing. Like one of my favorite episodes was them going through like this hiking trail and losing a bottle of Pappy, and then at the end of it, they were only in their backyard on like a play, like one of the playground pieces of equipment. It to me, it was funny, but yeah. So shout out to Laura and Troy, man.
Yeah, one of my favorite ones that I really enjoyed from Baker's, and it was like spin the bottle, and it was all these shoes, right, and feet, right? It was all feet, and they spun the bottle, and it landed, and it was just a bunch of empty shoes and Laura's foot. And she's like, I guess I got a drink. I was like, it's so good. I enjoyed that so much.
That's a good one.
I 100% agree. Old Forester, Old Fitz, what's the difference, right? If there's nothing better about going live, it's just getting roasted as you go. It's because people, they like catch it, and I appreciate it. I appreciate the fact checking. This is like a debate. Yeah, it's just 100% fact checking. Fact checking. Well, I'm going to drink some water. Yeah, how about that? Let me tell you guys that all I've had today is a salad. This should be fun for the rest.
Woo!
Yeah.
Woo!
I'm ready. I just got to get my mind back right. Here we go. All right.
There is nothing like drinking on an empty stomach. I'll go ahead and let you finish.
Oh, no. Yeah, it's 100% bad choices have been made, and we just have to live with them now. So, Here we roll. Oh, but I appreciate you guys being here. Myron, appreciate you. By the way, that number 6,
Yes.
pretty damn good. Say
Yes.
pretty damn
Yes.
good. All right. Now, since you're in Maryland, I have finally got my hands on the 9-year Sagamore.
Okay.
Like, I really enjoy the Sagamore products. Is that a common thing? Being in, I said Maryland, in
Yeah.
Maryland, but like,
No.
you don't like it?
Yeah, I see it. No, I love it, dude. The
Okay,
double
gotcha.
oaked. I haven't had the 9 year. I haven't had the 8 year. I almost bought a bottle, but the double oaked. That is one of the best double oaked ryes, and it's not even high proof.
No.
Like it's easy to drink. It's nice. They just changed up the label. I heard my wife, one of her coworkers, him and his wife, uh, him and him and his wife, went to the Sagamore Distillery, and they said that it is an amazing experience. They said that Sagamore actually has a hotel that you can stay at. I haven't been up there, but they said it is a beautiful place to visit, and it's about an hour and some change away from me. I
Okay.
haven't been to it yet. I have yet to go to any distilleries, but I am a huge fan of Sagamore.
The double oak rye is maybe my favorite, like, just go to pour. Like, it's desserty.
Yeah.
It is just, oh, I love it. And like, I just crushed. I just finished my double oak last night. Like,
Oh,
it's really one of those things. I look at it and I'm like, I shouldn't buy another bottle because I'll just go after it. It's
I know. It's like that's why I don't have one now.
Yeah.
It's like you can run through them.
Yeah, and it's to go back to earlier, crushable. It's crushable.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
just so good. It's so good. So like, but I was in Wyoming, and Nate hooked me up with the 9-year because this doesn't come to Nebraska. So I was really excited to get this, and he let me have a sample, and it's damn good. It's so good. It's and I mean Sagamore, one of the better rye profiles that I really enjoy. Obviously, I like a
Yes.
lot of different ryes, but like Sagamore, they do it right. They do it right.
Yeah, they do it right. And they even do bourbon. Believe it or not, I remember watching one of the Bourbon Junkies episodes, and they were talking about how they went to Sagamore and they picked these bourbon barrels, and they were
Mm-hmm.
phenomenal. And I
Mm-hmm.
was like, oh my gosh. Like, because I like the Bourbon Junkies. I did sample some of their products at Dennis's one of the first bourbon meetups I went to
Yep.
of Dennis's. And I liked it. I thought it was really good. Did it have the Sagamore stuff in it? I don't know. But they were very, very happy with the barrel that they chose at Sagamore.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, because is that the essence? Is they call it essence or I
It
can't
used to
remember.
it used to be Virtue Spirits,
Virtue.
and
Thank
now
you.
it's something else. I think
Yeah.
they had to change it because somebody else had the name or something like that.
It's yeah, fun thing. But like I love the Bourbon Junkies. That was one of the first channels that I watched, obviously. And it's like when they went and they're talking about Sagamore, and it's like, I also like Sagamore. I really
Yeah.
it's like I also, and it's crazy because like the 9-year was something I can never get, but the double oak I could get every day. And
Yeah.
it was in there like, I don't know why people are not drinking the 9 like the double oak. It's so damn good.
And to me, it is one of the few ryes out there that doesn't immediately hit you with that grassy note. Some ryes
Yeah.
can be like super grassy up front.
Yeah.
Sagamore, the only time I pick up a grassy note in Sagamore is if I've already had some bourbon. So
Yeah.
if I had like a small pour of something else and then I
Yeah.
go to the double oak, I'm like, okay, I pick it up a little bit. But on its own, oh my gosh, man.
Yeah. And yeah, same. Um, and I picked this up. Have you ever had the Hard Truth Sweet Mash rye?
Hmm.
Similar type of thing. Like I actually enjoy it quite a bit. This is the barrel strength, and so it's a little bit hotter. It's 120 proof, but you still get like that rye in there. You
Yeah.
know you're drinking a rye. And
I
Sagamore, not so much.
if I didn't move them, I would have it right here because
Yeah.
that first shelf beside me where I keep my Christmas story lamp is made
Mhm.
of glass. So I had a little too much weight on there. I said I need to take some weight off there. But yeah, I kept all of my Hard Truth stuff over there.
Yeah.
And if you reach out to Hard Truth, they're easy people to work with. They will send you bottles. And they sent
Interesting.
me the Sweet Mash bourbon. They sent me the Sweet Mash rye, and that was pretty much it. The other stuff I bought on my own. I might be the only one. This might be a hot take. I might be the only one that does not like the weeded that I have over there.
Yeah.
A lot of people love it. I am not a fan of that weeded, man.
I've never
But
like
the Sweet Mash Rye, good.
and I had the Sweet Mash bourbon, and we killed that bottle in a week. But it was when we were in Louisville. That's when, because it doesn't come to Nebraska, and so it's one of those things. But like now that you told me that, I might reach out, might say like, hey, um, I will talk about bourbon, or whiskey because like I have a channel. Yeah, most people are
Hmm.
like, yeah, go on. It's
Yeah.
like- so
Yeah. I get, trust me, I get that. Dude, you don't know. I sat down one day and I must have fired off about 15 to 20 emails. I got maybe maybe 10 responses, maybe 5 distilleries sent me bottles.
yeah,
And the responses that I got from the other 5 were, well, we really don't send to, or we don't have a marketing team that sends out bottles. And I'm like, I know you're lying because Jason C. or the Bourbon Junkies just had a sample on their channel. And
yep,
I'm like, whatever, no big deal, no big deal. I understand it. I'm a small channel,
yeah.
and that's how that's how I would phrase my email. It was like, hey, I'm a small channel right now. But it's steadily growing and blah blah blah. And I would love to, review your product. I can't necessarily say it's going to be favorable, but I'd love to have it on the channel. And like I said, Hard Truth, they were one of the ones who reached out to me, sent me some bottles. 13th Colony, Barrel is really good. Like
Barrel.
Barrel will send you, yeah, Barrel will send you bottles, man. Barrel will really look out.
That is amazing because like I've talked to Found North amongst other like it was funny like I went to Jim Beam because like I love Booker's I love the 120 proof it's like and I sent out I was like hey I really enjoy this product I would love to do like a pick with you guys at some point and all I got back from their marketing team was like we are not accepting any picks like marketing at this time and I'm like
Mm-hmm.
the hell you're not like are you not trying to get rid of barrels right now because I see them everywhere. It's like
Everywhere.
everywhere and it's like I didn't even make the cut for Jim Beam. And they're trying to get it rid like so it was a nice like okay I know where I'm at in the world now it's like
Hmm.
I don't I apparently don't even like they don't even want to sell me a barrel. So it's wild, wild. But like it's you get better responses. Still, Austin has been really responsive. Just like talking with me, they haven't sent me samples, but they were like really interested in me doing a barrel pick with them. 13th, yeah, not 13th Colony, 13th. Well, yeah, Georgia, 13. Is it 13th Colony?
Colony.
Colony, thank you.
Yeah, Georgia,
Sorry,
13th Colony.
there's a Colorado distillery that's something Colony, and it always throws me off. But 13th Colony, like they just like yeah, just like come down to Georgia whenever you want. And I'm like, when I'm down there,
Yeah.
I'll contact you guys. It's like a type of thing, and so
I No, I was saying I reached out to 13 Colony and they were good folks too, man. And
yeah,
they sent me they sent me the small batch rye and they sent
yep,
me the small batch bourbon, which I had already had the small batch bourbon. And funny story, my wife says the FedEx got damn, I'm saying it. I didn't want to say it in the video. She says that
fine.
the carrier walked up, he got her signature, and she said he fucking bolted to his truck. And she was like, why is he? And then she said, all of a sudden, the box started feeling wet. And then I'm at work. So she's sending me pictures. She's like, Myron, she was like, I think he busted the bottles. And I don't know if they shifted in the back of the truck and they fell or what.
Right.
But I got home, took them out. The 13th Colony which one was it? The bourbon was done. The bourbon I was able to save. The rye was done, and I was pissed because I had never had the rye.
Right.
And that rye, that dude, I'm a fan of that rye. I don't know about you, but I'm a fan of that rye.
Yeah. Yeah. That is just I've had there's one time I went to the post office because this distillery sent me something, right? And the post office like you got to come to it, and I'm like, oh, like this is actually legal. Like it's like the distillery sent it to me. It's completely like they have the rights, but it was because 2 out of the 4 bottles were destroyed. Like they're just crushed, and I was just like, and it was like half the box was like soaked and just like destroyed, and they had just wrapped it in plastic, and they're like, it's imagine like, I would only imagine it as like if you're on like a battlefield and you have your arm just totally like blown up, and they just like put wrap around it. They're like, it'll be fine. That's exactly how it was just shards and liquid. It was in it. It was like, awesome. Thanks. Michael Bortner, I appreciate it. 13th Century is the one out of Colorado, not 13 Colorado. That one always throws me off. I always like fear that I'm saying the wrong thing there. Oh, Myron, I appreciate you just hanging out with me. I am going to run a quick race, but I'm going to change the screen here. Let me see if I get here. If I get here. I have to run a race for my Patreon. I promised them. And so top guy gets a President's Choice from Old Forester. And so I'm going to run that right now. Good luck, everybody. Thanks for being a Patreon supporter. And then we will get on. Oh, Lord. So sorry. Loud noises. so bad. We're live, everybody. Okay. We're back, Myron. All right. So I'm running that right now. Good luck, everybody that supported me. And Myron, what are you drinking right
now? The 10-year Horse Soldier.
Oh, the Horse Soldier. That's right. You said that was going to be your last one. And, yeah. Well, I might as well crack the Wyoming. Like, I don't know. It's dang dark. But it's the Horse Soldier
134.2 proof. And I know you said you wanted to get off before because I'm monitoring the time. I'm looking at it on the bottom of the screen. I said it's 8:37. I know he said he wanted to get off before
the Bakers
got on. So I was
yeah. Like, and also like I could have a conversation with you, Myron, for the rest of the night. Like I actually enjoy having you here. But like we'll ramp it up here, guys. We'll get to the point here. It's a sample of President's Choice. Like my Tom Jackson's like, is it a full bottle or is it a sample? And I'm like, it is a sample of President's Choice. It'd be really weird because it's like half gone already. Oh, I can't wait to send you this. This is a weird one, Myron. This Wyoming whiskey. Whew, it's a different one. They're very proud of it, and it's up in the mountains, and they get a lot of heat in the summer and a lot of cold in the winter. So like, their rick house gets just baked in the summer because it's so high up. The altitude's so high up. It's so much different than a Kentucky. So it's so much, but it's just chocolate and anger. That's all it is. Oh, it's damn good though. Oh, it hurts you though, and so you know, but like it's so good. It's like you're enjoying a candy, but you know, like candy's hurting you. Like it's like it's like poking in your gums and stuff. It's the same kind of thing. Oh man, so how's the Horse Soldier? I'm interested.
Oh, excellent, man. I recorded the review for it. I haven't dropped it yet. I was supposed to edit it today, but all of the running around I did with my son earlier today, and then trying to get this place back up running, I didn't get around to it. And I need to do I try to drop a video at least every 3 to 4 days, and I think I'm running up on like the 6th day without dropping a video. So I need to get a video out there. But
Yeah.
this horse soldier, it's very good. One of the things that I said when I reviewed the silver label was if 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 a Four Roses single barrel had a baby with an ECBP store pick,
Ooh.
this would be, yeah. So and that's the weird thing is that it's a weeder. So like normally weeder's super chocolatey, drink super soft,
Yep.
134.2 proof. It's got just enough kick, spice, chocolate, a little bit of cherry in there, some char on the back end. You pick up some oak with that 10 years. I am a fan. I
Yeah.
am a fan of Four Soldier.
That's
The price runs people off.
right. Where is the price range at? I don't even know.
So small batch typically goes for about 45 to $50. And then you've got another one after that. I don't know what that is. That runs around 70 something bucks. And then you've got the cash strength that goes for $80. Now I only buy it when the ABC has it on sale. And the ABC normally has it on sale for about $73.
Okay.
Then you're talking about the 10-year is $120.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like, yeah.
I mean, that's a jump, but and
Yeah.
they source their stuff, right?
Yes, they do. So what they do is they contract distill. So the first bottle that I had, they were in Ohio. They had a distillery in Ohio.
Yep.
I'm assuming because the back of the bottle did not have where it was distilled from, because according to the TTB rules, if you only have the address of the distillery, you can have it distilled in that state without disclosing what state it was distilled in. So
Okay.
if I have a distillery in Ohio, but I'm having it contract distilled with my own yeast, corn, blah blah blah,
Right.
because they're very grain to glass and everything, then the only thing I have to put on there is my distillery's address. Well, they're getting a distillery built in Somerset, Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
It's not up and running yet, but what I'm hearing is Bardstown is now contract distilling their stuff.
Okay.
So, and to me, and it could just be batch variation, but to me, the new bottles where it looks like it's kind of like a handwritten number on there for the proof.
Yep.
These are a little spicier than the older bottles. The older bottles have more of like some type of like fancy font for the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
And those bottles just seem to drink a little easier. And to me, my first bottle of Horse Soldier was actually better. But it's like I said, you can't go wrong with them. I think it's just the price that drives people away.
And honestly, when you have a label, like if that was Buffalo Trace, like something, Buffalo Trace, 90 proof or like 90 some dollars or whatever, they'd be like, yeah, no problem. It's one of those things that's like, and it could be far better than that.
It's way better.
Myron, I know we're trying to get a timeline here, and I'm going to run the super chat race here at the end. Whatever's been unlocked, we've just been having a good time, and I like that's all I want. I have a friend that is wondering because it's coming up, and he's trying to derail me. But have you ever seen the movie Boondock Saints?
I don't think I have. I've heard the name, but I don't think I've seen it.
I would not expect you to see it, but he's really trying to do it because that's one of my favorite. It's like St. Patty's, St. Patrick's. It's a movie. It's not even a very good movie, but I really enjoy it. But he's trying to derail me, and he's a terrible person. But I had to ask just in case you had been like, I'm a deep fan of that movie. It's a very much a cult film. Anyway, we'll move on from that one. So you're having that. This Wyoming whiskey, it is it is like if you have a chocolate bar, but it's going to sting you all the way down.
Oh,
like it's so good, yet like you have to respect it. If that makes sense.
Okay.
It is damn good. I cannot wait to send you a sample of that. so damn good. But it
Have
is
you had
wild.
any?
It's so much different.
Have you had any of the American whiskey? And Troy, if he's still in the comments, he can attest to this. The American whiskey from Old Line. Now they source their stuff out of Ohio. They're a
Mm.
Maryland company, but man, that was one of those aha moments too. Like
Yeah.
I had a cognac finished American whiskey from Old Line, 100 proof. I was like, oh my gosh, this is great. And then I get the cask strength version, and I was like, oh my gosh, like what is this?
Right. Um, I've had someone had sent me. Maybe it was Dave Vogelsang that sent me an Old Line sample, but that was probably 3 months ago when I had it, and I was like,
Okay.
"That's really good," and it was gone. Like I don't get a whole lot.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that's I just don't really. I don't get a lot
It's
of
just
like
hard.
I don't get access to that stuff, so it's like it's so hard to like follow up on that. It's just
Yeah.
really what
Yeah.
it is. Uh, Gosh, I was going to ask you about one other bottle. It's gone. It doesn't matter. It's, but the Old Line was really interesting. Gosh, wow. Oh, yes. I was going to ask you about. Have you ever tried Old Glory?
I have not.
So this is Tennessee whiskey. This is a single barrel. My wife owns a business, and one of the staff that works for her brought back because they knew that I was a whiskey guy, and they're like, "Oh, we went and visited our son, and we went to this distillery, and we went to, Old Glory," and I was like, "I've never heard of Old Glory," and it's very much like just a wild expression of whiskey. It's like, and they brought a single barrel back that is cast proof, that's really high and heavy char, all that stuff, and it's just like that is a wild whiskey. And they look at me like, "Did you like it?" And I'm like, "It was a wild whiskey." Like it's like one of those things.
Yeah,
Like,
just a
how do
wild
you
ride.
describe something that's so off? It's just so wild. It's just
Yeah.
like because I do think a lot of these smaller distillers, they're trying to make a decent sippable product, and they're trying to like just make something that is so different or so
Hmm.
aggressive maybe. Like it's like I don't even know how to describe it. And so Old Line I've had a little bit, but like that's what made me think about that, like is just like if I was going to get an Old Line, because I'm hopeful to get back east at some point, what's an Old Line that I should look after or look for?
Well, like I said, you don't mind proof, so definitely the cash strength.
Okay.
Or the Navy strength, because both of these guys, they were ex-Navy guys. They were both vets, and they started in their own business, and they went overseas and like stayed with some distillers in Scotland or something. Like they've got a whole story. I went into it when I reviewed their stuff,
Yeah.
but they learned the art of distilling and everything. But I would definitely, from what I've experienced, because someone who found out I was an Old Line fan sent
Yeah.
me different variations. So they've got like a sherry finished and a this finish and a that finish. My two favorites are the 100 proof cognac finished and just the regular cask strength. The regular cask strength, that thing is amazing. That thing is
Okay.
amazing. And if
Okay.
you've ever had Westward, which
Yeah.
shout out to Troy and everybody else, because the Whiskey Six, I didn't go in on a Westward pick with the Whiskey Six, but Troy, Matt from Whiskey Wisdom, Sean Echoes in Eternity,
Yeah.
Carlos from Whiskey Corner,
Yeah.
Barrel Dave, like we all went in on a Westward pick. And Westward, like I said, they're like this. Like if you like Westward, if you've had Westward and you
Mm-hmm.
like Westward, Old Line, they're like this, man.
Okay. I purchased both of those picks. And
Oh,
so
you did?
yes, and so it's different because like I gotta let you know, I am I'm still trying to learn single malts because like single malts are just a little different animal. They're just different animal, and I enjoyed both of them, and it's so funny because my mom she's a Scotch drinker. and so
Okay.
she really loves scotch and water, like that and that, right? And I was like, I want you to try these because like I have bottles surrounding me everywhere I'm at right now. And I was like, I want you to try these. And she tried, she's like, that's really good. I was like, can you take these home? And it's not because I dislike them, because I just need bottles off my floor. And so I go over there. I'm like, hey, do you have something that I want to try something? She goes, oh, I drank it all. I'm like, the whole bottle? And she goes, well,
Wow.
it's been a month. And I'm like, yeah, you drink that whole bottle in a month? She goes, yeah, it was pretty good. So if that tells you anything about those picks, my mom liked them. I
Look, I'll say this. So a buddy of mine, he ordered, just to support us, he ordered them. He ordered one. I think he ordered the 17. No, he ordered the 412, which
yeah.
I'm falling in love with the 412 right now. But single malts, when they're aged in brand new charred American oak barrels, pick up so much chocolate. They're so much richer. I've
Mm-hmm.
had single malts that taste more like scotches. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
and they don't have that richness that Old Line and Westward have. But the thing about Old Line that I really like is Old Line just, for some reason, to me, are so bourbon friendly. Westwards are bourbon friendly too,
Right.
but the old lines are so bourbon friendly, it's ridiculous. And I got to get, because I've got. Let me look at my stash. I've got to see if I got any more. But even if I don't have any more, I'm going to pick up some, and I got to get you a sample of the old line. I've got to get you a sample of the horse soldier. I've got to get you some of the tumbling dice, because I'm telling you, man, I think you'll really enjoy it.
I'm all about these brands that I haven't got to try because like I see them maybe on the shelf, but it's maybe the basic offering. Like I just don't have the ability to get all of these things because like they're just not readily available. So, but I would love any suggestions, especially if it's something's like this is really good and it's crafty. I'm all about that crap. Um,
Okay.
uh, Waterwerk says that try the Ardbeg. Oh boy, I'm not going to say that word. Unigadale. um, uh, I'm sure that is a Scottish word that is so smooth and buttery as they say it. It's like Uadile. It's Uadile. But like me, I'm like phonetically, I can't get there.
No.
It's brutal. But he's like, try it. Trust me, it's amazing. Well, I'll have to try it. I see it down at the local store, so I might have to grab me a scotch. I'm not against scotch or single malts at all.
No.
Um,
No.
they are different than bourbons. Like, let's just
Yeah.
be honest. It's a different world. I catch a lot of
Total.
Band-Aid on a lot of stuff. I do.
Yes. I've got a Lefroy quarter cask that is smoky band-aids for days. I
Yeah.
mean, plastic band-aids, and you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I rarely ever go to that bottle. I had it when I was out of town, drank a lot of it, woke up the next morning, all I was tasting was band-aids
Yep.
for the next 2 days. I was like, that's not a bottle for me. But Major Zero, Adam from Major Zero,
Mm-hmm.
he was like, he said, if you, because I smoke cigars, he was like, if
Yep.
you smoke a cigar, it takes some of that smokiness out of it, and you'll be able to pick up the fruitiness of it.
Yeah.
And he was right. He was right.
Wild. And like I am someone that I love to smoke cigars, but tobacco is one of those things that like I can smoke half a cigar and I'm looking back and the whole world is rotating. I didn't chew, I didn't smoke, I didn't do anything like that. Um, like in high school or college, and so like that stuff messes me up. So it's like I love to smoke a cigar and have a drink, but next thing I know, it's like I got to go to bed.
Oh
So
wow.
I it like nicotine gets after me more than
Yeah.
almost anything else that I go after. So it's like nicotine is a wild thing. And
Yeah,
a
you got to be
good
careful.
cigar can really grab you.
And I've heard people say that. I have not been lucky enough to experience that myself. I say lucky enough because I can, I haven't because of the job that I have, of course, I cannot delve into the world of marijuana anymore.
Yeah.
Back when I was a teenager, yes, but um, so to be able to experience something like that from tobacco, a legal product,
Yeah.
that would be nice. But I haven't been lucky enough.
Right. Right. I had a friend in college that was part of the National Guard. He went over to Turkey. He brought back Cuban cigars,
Oh,
like truly Cuban. And he's like, wait, like I was like so lucky enough that he chose me to smoke one of these Cuban cigars with him. I've never been more messed up in my life. I've never.
wow.
I woke up the next day. I didn't know my name. Like, it was like I was so like I was like never again. I can't find where are my pants. Where are my pants?
Well, I was about to say I can wake up not knowing my name, but if my ass hurts, that's a different story. We
Mhm.
we fight.
Yeah. Luckily, I'm like 75-80% sure that it was all okay, but it's like there was a point there. It's like I didn't know what happened. Like it's like I gotta let you know that isn't a that was an aggressive cigar that I had. And so I had a few after that weren't quite, but like every time I'd be sitting back on a patio or something, I look back at the stars and I could see the Earth rotating. I'm like,
Yeah,
it's probably time to go to bed. It's like
yeah.
that's just how it is. I just can't. I can't hang. I'm not cool enough to do cigars. It sucks. But I
So,
want to.
so your wife bought you tickets to, you said, the 2024 PGA Championship in
Mhm.
Kentucky.
Yeah.
I got a chance to marshal a couple of events. I used to marshal at Congressional with the
Okay.
Springfield Country Club, and got a chance to see some of the big name guys.
Yep.
And the company that I work for, they sponsor a tournament, so I've got a chance to see some of the big name guys. But I tell you what, I got a chance to marshal when Tiger was there, VJ was there.
Mhm.
What's my man's name who always twists his club? I don't know why I'm drawing a blank.
Oh, so wait, are you talking about
Uh,
Keegan Bradley? I'm
yes,
sorry.
Bradley. So flat brim hat, always twist the
Yep.
club.
Twist,
Um,
twist, twist, twist. Yep.
uh, Howley, yeah. Fowler was there. I mean, like, I've got a chance. The way that they play the game is totally different from the. I don't know how good you are, but the way you and I play the game, totally different. Like, them dudes are incredible.
Yeah. Um, so what's crazy about Valhalla? So we're guys, I just want to let you know you're here for whiskey. I'm going to nerd out about golf for a really short amount of time. So um, we're at Valhalla. Okay, so it's an amazing, beautiful course, amazing, and they actually had some really horrific things happen, but while I was there, it was really nice. But a lot of their holes they have built up like almost like just berms around it. Like so they built the dirt up around the greens. So you could sit around the greens and watch people hit in. And if I was golfing, you would not be safe in any of
No,
those areas. 100%.
no.
But we watched, and I watched. By the way, Xander Schauffele won the PGA Championship, and we were parked where it was. I think it was like number 4, number 5, number 6, and number 7 all kind of came together, and we watched these guys. It was Rory, Xander, and a couple of Max Homa and a couple other guys, and I watched 4 guys put the golf ball on their second shot within a foot. It was like boom, 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 and I was like, I can never do that. And they were just like flick,
No.
flick, flick. And what's crazy is like Rory was the last to hit, and he hit his probably 15 feet by, and it came back and rolled down. And it was like, and you see all this group of golf balls that's probably like that far apart around, and it was
Yeah.
like birdie, 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 and I was like. These guys are
Incredible.
good. It's like it's so good. It's so crazy. It's amazing to watch that. It's so awesome. It's so
and
awesome
and
to watch it.
the way that they, like how you said Rory hit it past the hole, he can use the back slope
Yeah.
to and put enough spin on it to bring it right back to within a foot of the hole.
Yeah.
I'm just happy to be on the green. Like you
100%.
said, people sitting around the green, nobody would sit there when I'm hitting, but I'm just happy to be on the green. Those guys, I'm going to hit it into this slope. It's going to come back up maybe about 3 feet. It'll lead me a left or right putt, and then I'm good to go. It's
Yeah.
like, oh my God.
Right. Give me, if I'm on the green and I have a 2-putt chance for par, that's a win for me.
Oh, I'm happy.
It's 85 feet to the hole. I don't care. I got a chance.
Hell yeah, I'm gonna hit that bitch. Look, it's 85 feet to the hole. I'm gonna hit that bitch with the force to go 90 feet. That way I can at least try to come back. You know what I'm saying? Like, them dudes are incredible, man.
Incredible. And like, it was so awesome because we went to a practice round. And by the way, if you're golf fans, go to practice rounds because that's when you can get real close.
Yeah.
Like, and we were Brooks Koepka and Tiger and all of them, like me, like to an arm length away. Because like, they're just playing golf, right? Like, they're just trying to practice and they're taking extra shots at this hole, trying to see which way it funnels, that kind of stuff. It's wild. And you're just sitting there and you're like, what sandwich are you eating? Yeah, I see you eating a sandwich. What's up?
I would purposely volunteer on Wednesdays and I would volunteer on Sunday because I always wanted to see them in a practice round, and I always wanted to see them when it was game time. Because like practice round, like you said, chill. They're hitting a couple balls, hitting it from here and there. No big deal, no stress. But then I love to see them under stress because when the last time they played at it was in Bethesda. I think it was some type of TPC something, whatever it was. TPC Amandale or Annandale, something like that. Anyway, practice round, they were all cool, right? So then get to Sunday, and none of the pros had ever hit it right into the woods. All of the guys who had enough charity money or whatever, the guys who would come all in the same uniform to play with the pro that day on Wednesday, all put it over in the woods, all over in the cart path. Pros dead center of the green. Sunday, pros woods. Water. Woods, water. Like, the pressure got to them. And I was like, okay, now I feel normal.
100%. That pressure is something different. If you ever play in like a 2-day championship, there's going to be a point where life gets tight. Like, and you're like, all I got to do is hit this ball 130 yards straight. And it's like, I don't know how to do that. It's just how it goes. I actually have a buddy that is like a +2 handicaps. He's really a really good golfer. And he was working for a company down in Dallas, and his boss is like, he's like, they want me to go and do this pro-am with it's like the Colonial in Dallas. And he goes, I don't want to go. Do you want to go? And my buddy's like, yeah, I'll go. Sure. If like, are you gonna like, is it a problem if I go? And the boss is like, no, I just don't want to do it. Go. And so he goes and he plays 18 holes. He plays 9 with CT Pan and the other with Justin Rose.
Oh shit.
And which was awesome. And I can't remember. This is 2014, 15. And I'm really big into golf gambling and like just like like DraftKings golf, like just building.
Okay.
I was like, hey, how was Justin Rose looking? I just want to know, how was Justin Rose looking? He goes, well, he was pretty smooth. He got 2 birdies, but he said that he hurt his elbow and his knee playing with his kids this week. It's okay. So I completely like said Justin Rose is out. Boom.
Uh-huh.
He won it by like 3 strokes, and I was like, "Ma!" It's like, I had the information within my hands, and it's just like, yeah, all I needed to know was like I was just that far off of that information.
Damn.
It was, I still remember. I can't like I bring it up every time. Like, remember when you told me Justin Rose may not be his best because he hurt himself, and then he won by 3
Yeah.
strokes. It's crazy. Oh, okay. So we're $30 from unlocking the next super chat tier, just in case anybody's interested. We're gonna run that here shortly. Myron, always a pleasure. I know that the bakers are starting off now. That's awesome. I'm like glad for Troy and Laura. So I'm very, very happy for them. But I appreciate all of you guys being here as well. But I think we'll need to run this race here shortly so I can go and be an actual dad to my family. And so, yeah, appreciate you, Myron. Once again, I apologize that all I had was a salad, so I'm slurring through all this. But I appreciate you so much, buddy, for being here. Cheers, my man.
Had a great time. Had a great time, man.
Yeah. And everybody that's here that isn't subscribed to Myron, you should be by now.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Appreciate it.
Anytime, brother. Hey, and once again, just really appreciate your time. Really appreciate you just being here and being available. And I had a good time. I really enjoyed the conversation.
Great time.
Great time, my man. And so until next time, I'll let you go, Myron, and we'll run this last race, and then we'll get out of here and send it to the bakers. So,
all right, but before we go, like
yeah,
I said, Wade, appreciate you having me here, man. I had a great time tonight, great conversation. Anytime I get a chance to talk bourbon and golf in the same night, I am at home. And I appreciate you making me feel comfortable. So thank you so much, man, and have a great night.
Yeah, you have a great night as well. You know, everyone in the chat, we're going to run this race here, but like, let's send Myron off in the well, just in the perfect way, just like telling him thank you for just being here and dealing with my ass. So,
have a good night, Wade.
Yeah, have a good night, Matty.
Have a good night, chat.
Priest. All right, so guys, we're going to run this race. Let's run this race right here. And, oh, we got something here. Oh, Night Method, you lucky sucker. For getting that, hit me up as you know how to. I actually know how to get a hold of you. But let's clear this all off. That was a Patreon. Let's get to the Super Chat race. Good luck, everybody. I always love how Tom Jack changes the names. Makes me happy. All right, 36 here. Good luck, everybody. We have 36, and you have the choice of whatever's been unlocked. Let's set it here. We're going to shuffle it 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Good luck, everybody. Mush, mush, mush. All right, guys, let me make myself a little bit smaller because I just feel like I'm slightly heavy. Oh, man, I feel so much thinner now. Yes, that is perfect. Waterberg, appreciate you so much. Does anyone have a thought on the Distillers Masters number 5? I can get that as well. You know what, Waterberg? I probably should just crack that and let you know. So I'll let you know that in Discord if I think that's decent or not. But the number 6, dang good. Dang good. Whew. Should have ate something before this, but appreciate you guys. Oh, no. What? I think he's in there. No, I didn't. All right. So I love it. On live. Love it. Thank you. Bye. Hey, look at that. Everybody's racing. It's so great. But I missed one person. So I'm going to pause it. Clear. No, I don't want you to race. It doesn't matter. You know what? Here we are. So I missed one person. Tom Jack was nice enough to let me know. And if you guys know the person that I missed, you know. But all the same, we'll get it straightened up here. At list. Good luck, everybody. I don't want to miss anybody, and I'm very grateful for Tom Jack letting me know that I might have missed somebody. All right. Delete. Here we go. Here we go. All right. Go back to here. Whew. You guys should always eat before you have any type of alcohol. 1, 2, 3. One more time. The first time was just for fun. Here we go. Appreciate you. Shout out to everyone. Cheers. All right. 2 minutes and 45 seconds to go. There's a lot of people skiing down the mountain. I noticed that none of them fall, unlike me. I actually injured myself quite severely is not the right word. I hurt and I'm sad. Because I hurt myself skiing. And guess what? In 2 weeks, we're going skiing again. Cheers. I'm going to end on a turkey product. Oh, man. That Wyoming is hot. But, so, it's Wild Turkey 12. I was lucky enough to get a hold of a few of these bottles just for the closing round of these lives. Goodness gracious. 1 minute, 55 seconds left. It's anybody's game. I'm going to drink some water. Where did I go skiing? So, in Wyoming, actually, it's called Snowy Peak, Waterberg. But then in the next, in 2 weeks, we're going to Colorado. We're going to ski a couple mountains there. And so, we'll see how it goes. Yeah, it sucks being 40 and skiing, just learning for the first time. But the kids like it, so I learn. All right, so Usonian's up there, the ride guy. I see a few others, Steven Seagal, the Karate Chop. By the way, if you guys ever watch any of the Steven Seagal like documentaries about like the way he thinks about himself, I wish I had that confidence. Anyway, God, Dave never wins. Wild Turkey 12 is really good. It's just so easy to go after. So delicious. Appreciate you all being here. I really want to appreciate Myron for being a part of this live. I've always enjoyed Myron's content, and it's just what it is. So, whoever wins has a choice between Henry McKenna, the 1.5 ounce samples of Michter's 10 years, or the personalized Glens from Mama Steph. So let me know via bourbonhall@gmail.com, whoever wins. Appreciate you guys. 15 seconds left. Ridge is here. Hey, y'all, been lurking on mute. Anything fun happened so far? Not really. What's up? All right, 5 seconds left. We're finishing. Oh, Darren Crafton with the win. Cheers, Darren Crafton. Appreciate your support. Oh, man. Everybody had a close run at it. I want to just say cheers to everyone else. Just so glad that you guys have been here. And please subscribe to Myron. His channel is legit and good. That dude gives great notes, great overall content, and he's just a good dude. So he deserves your follow if you haven't been there. So Darren Crafton, hit me up at bourbonhall@gmail.com. Appreciate you greatly. All right. By the way, skiing in Europe is amazing. I went to Austria in the beginning of January, and again, yeah, I bet it's amazing. I bet it's amazing. You know, the Rockies are as close as we get to the Alps. I know the Alps are superior and honestly, us going to the Rockies is probably just as cheap as going to the Alps. That's the way that it works right now. But with younger kids, we'll go there. But the Alps, I hope, is something that we can visit in the future. So anyway, appreciate you guys as always. Thank you so much. Tom, Jack, you didn't get to the 10 drinks that it only took about 5 for me to be down on my bar, but very much appreciate everyone that's here, and until next time, let's just have some fun and enjoy each other's company and drink some halfway decent whiskey. Woodvark, 100% appreciate you being here from Denmark. Just kidding, Netherlands. And yeah, I know that's really late for you, but I appreciate you being here. Everyone else, thank you so much for being here. It's been a great night. Myron, once again, from Bourbon Drop. It's always fun. We're going to have more guests on here, so just expect that from here on out. Greatly appreciate all of you guys being here. I'm sorry I wasn't super involved with the chat. It was just, it's part of the beast. So until next time, cheers, y'all. And yeah, have a good Saturday night. It's Saturday night instead of Sunday. I don't have to go to work tomorrow. Damn good night. Enjoy, you guys. Peace.